a lot of people talk about things in Judaism that have mazel or that don't have mazel. Like if someone writes a great song with a certain pasuk, that pasuk will be something that everyone knows. That pasuk has mazel. And then maybe like the next pasuk or the one after, people might ignore or not have any recollection of it. And it's the same thing with halachos, and it's the same thing with parshios. I feel like Vayelech very often gets shafted because it comes on the heels of the, because we have the Yamim Noraim, Aser Semei Tshuva, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur. So rightfully so, we spend a lot of time talking about the really important days of awe that are upon us. And sometimes we sort of gloss over Vayelech, it's only 30 psukim, and it's really connected to Nitzavim. I'd like to share with you a vort that I heard from Mori Rabbi Rav Aaron Lichtenstein, probably about 20-something years ago. And actually today was at the Levaya of the Rav of Rinat Yisrael, Rav Yosef Adler, and his son actually mentioned something very similar, so I thought it was fitting that I would share it here as well. So the last mitzvah in the Torah is the mitzvah to write a Sefer Torah. And the pasuk where we have the tzivoy, where Hashem tells Moshe to actually enact that, it says as follows: Vayomer Hashem el Moshe, Hine shocheva avosecha v'kama hamazeh, right? So that you're going to die, and the nation's going to do terrible things. Ve'anochi haster aster panai, okay. Ve'ata, so we're going to enter a time of hester panim. V'ata kitvu lachem et hashira azot v'limdad b'nei Yisrael sima b'fihem l'man tiyeh li hashira azot l'eid b'nei Yisrael. So Hashem tells Moshe, and follow the verbs here, kitvu lachem et hashira azot, limdad b'nei Yisrael sima b'fihem. So there are three verbs. One is write it, second is teach it, and the third is this more ambiguous one, sima b'fihem, put it in their mouths. Now later, about a parak later, when we talk about when we get the report of what Moshe did, so in Pasuk Chavbet it says Vayichtov Moshe Hashira Azot Bayom Hahu Vayilamdad B'nei Yisrael. Period. End. So what's missing? Sima B'fihem. So this ambiguous amorphous Sima B'fihem. What does it mean? So Dov Adler today quoted Rashi. I haven't seen it inside recently, but I'll take his word for it. That it means that you should the Orach Chaim says that you should make sure that it's clear that sort of like the Shiu Divrei Torah Mechudadim B'ficha. Okay, so that's I think a very reasonable explanation of what Sima B'fihem is supposed to represent. But Dov today, and again, it could be that Rav Lichtenstein mentioned this Gemara in Erchin also, referenced the Gemara in Erchin that talks about Sima B'fihem as actually being an emotional connection to what you're communicating. There has to be something that's part of who you are, what you internalize. And Rav Lichtenstein developed this idea that that the context that Hashem is talking to Moshe here is that Moshe is at the end of his life. He has to now embark on something so that he can communicate for future generations who are going to be in difficult times, who are not going to have a leader, not going to have a teacher. And so he is instructing Moshe to write down the Torah, teach it, right? But then also have the people internalize it. And that's actually the hardest one. Because anyone can write something down and anyone could get up like I just got up and I'm just giving a speech, right? Anyone can do that and try to teach people. But to be able to communicate things in such a way that people internalize it and make it part of their being, part of their emotional makeup, so that you don't just learn Torah, you don't just learn Gemara, you don't just learn Halacha, but you actually live it, you internalize it and make it part of who you are. That's the hardest part. That's the hardest of the three verbs. And Rav Lichtenstein mentioned, it seems like Moshe wasn't able to do it, right? He was able to write it, he was able to teach it, but he was not able to, form that personal bond with the nation such that they would communicate it to their children and their children's children. And that's probably why Moshe wasn't allowed to go into Eretz Yisrael, because there are multiple different accounts. Was it Mei Meriva, and the Egel, Chet HaMeraglim. But it seems clear throughout Sefer Bamidbar that there was a breakdown in the communication of the relationship between Moshe and Am Yisrael. They're always Moshe and Yoshua are always nofel al pneihem. They're not really able to fix whatever is going on, to respond to whatever crisis is going on with the Jewish people. And Rav Lichtenstein suggested that it was this characteristic of sima b'fihem that Moshe just could not find a way to do. That he was the teacher par excellence. He was, he got Torah from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, but there was still that extra element that he strove to accomplish and was unable to. And so what Dov mentioned, and I guess I think it's appropriate for shul where certainly certain people knew Rabbi Adler very well. There are certain teachers who are able to accomplish this sima b'fihem, where you are not just giving over information or writing down articles or shiurim, but that you're actually conveying it in a way that the people don't just learn but internalize. And ultimately, the point of our learning and the point of our davening is not just to be able to conduct a sort of ritualistic act, but to actually have it change who we are and change our being. And have a minute, two, whatever.
We're out of time.
Out of now. We have a long process ahead of us, right? We have our slichos, we have Rosh Hashanah, we're in shul the whole day. Yeah, we have the Aseres Yemei Tshuva, we have Yom Kippur. So again, take this lesson of sima b'fihem and try to make it something that we're not just performing certain rituals, but that we're actually taking it and making it part of who we are. And as we, look to the next generation to make it part of who they are as well.
Awesome.